Alright, so in today's video, we're going to be putting two cutscenes head-to-head from the original Resident Evil 4 and as well as the remake of Resident Evil 4, basically to see which one is better. Specifically, in this video, we're going to be looking at the scene where Leon first encounters his first encounter with a Ganado in the village. So, let's get started.
Sorry to barge in like this.
So for starters, I just want to state that I really liked how they basically fixed this scene. You know, for starters, it wasn't as awkward as before. If anything, I really liked how they made the Ganado, the enemy, kind of be more awkward than Leon. So Leon is just like, what? Why is that guy just standing there? The guy, and it is worth noting as well that before this kind of cutscene starts, Leon does say, is anybody in here or whatever? He does state something just like the OG, which we're going to look at right after this. But what's interesting here is that I really like how, if anything, the weird person here, the awkward person isn't Leon. It's the Ganado. So Leon's right here. He's like, I'm sorry to barge in here. And a lot of people before, they were kind of confused about this scene where I basically stated before how Leon is definitely not fluent in Spanish. If he was fluent in Spanish, he would have spoken in Spanish right here. This is the telltale sign that Leon doesn't really know what he's doing. Obviously, he's trying to communicate to the guy as best as possible in English to see if this guy speaks English. But you could tell the guy's really acting weird. As he's going around, he is reciting the prayers. If you've seen my translating or dissecting of this scene of the Spanish, you guys do already know what he's discussing here is that he's basically doing the same prayers that were written right before you enter this scene right on the hallway there. So yeah, I really like how in this scene right from the get-go, it's not Leon that's acting weird, it's the villager that's acting weird, which again gives a nice kind of a suspense as to if for newcomers to the series that have never played this, they're like, what's up with this guy? This ain't right. What's up? Why is he moving? And I'm pretty sure if we rewind, doesn't he have like red eyes? So we'll just look at that again because I want to see if he has red eyes. Yeah, his eyes are pretty red there. Okay. Yeah, so right there, he said, "Oh Señor," or Lord, and he's referring to Sadler, "Protege nuestras almas." And he's reciting that same prayer as before. We're not going to go over that, but let's continue.
Sorry to barge in.
Because you can barely hear it here.
Like this.
Yeah, protégenos de este débil que pretende destruirnos. Protect us from this weakling that pretends to destroy us. I'm pretty sure that's what the prayer was. That's what he just said. And he does add also another verse from a different prayer that says, "No temeremos." We won't fear you. Yeah, no temeremos.
Busco a un policía. Vino aquí?
We will live with you forever. So again, he's reciting all of those prayers that we just saw in the hallway. So really great stuff. I love that creepiness factor. Again, I really like the fact for this scene, for the remake, that Leon is doing everything possible as somebody that's just there looking for information. So of course, he just said in his very broken Spanish, he says, busco un policía, vino aquí. That basically translates to, I'm looking for a police officer, came here. So again, it's not like he said, did the police officer come through here? Did he pass here? No, he said, come here. So Leon's trying his best here to actually communicate. Not like the OG, which we'll look at in a second, where he does not speak Spanish at all. So... So I think that's funny, but really, really bad. It's a lot more human. It makes a lot more sense compared to the OG. So, anyways, let's continue. The scene's almost over. Also, yeah, so right here, we're going to look at the fact that Leon looks at the badge, so the police officer's badge that he was just with. So that, again, gives us another reason to the audience to kind of just realize, hey, wait a second, there's blood on this badge. This guy has just attacked an officer, so that means that this guy's dangerous. So it gives Leon also the defense here. It gives him, it gives him the right to essentially, hurt this guy back, or, if this guy is hostile, because, again, he already has enough evidence here to suggest that he's already hurt a cop from the region, or from Spain in this instance. Yeah, and so that's the cop. So again, here, Leon definitely has the right here. I mean, he's assaulted a police officer. He's assaulting an agent now, you know, even though there's no reason to do so. The guy just literally attacked him, so he's definitely hostile. So I really like that. If anything here, it was a little bit of a super kick. Now, I'm just dissecting here the scene, but that looked a little too hard there. I'm curious to also see if maybe the parasite kind of just makes the people a little lighter, because we do know, like, if you've played the game Resident Evil 4, if you parry, you can rip a Ganado's arm off completely. So it kind of just begs the question, is it because the parasite has kind of just infested their body? Has that made it kind of rotten inside? Are they more lighter in that instance? You know, does that explain the reason why he just kicked him? And, you know, kicking a normal person would have them hit there, but especially with all the dust, it just looked like it landed really strongly there. It almost looked like a super kick, but I think that's my theory here, is that the parasite must make the people lighter, since, again, Leon wouldn't be able to rip somebody's arm off unless it was weak, you know, unless it was probably rotten thanks to the Las Plagas, the parasite from the game. So again, really brilliant. Then the scene's almost over. So the last thing I want to note also is that I really like the fact that we hear the police officer kind of scream. So again, it gives us more of a creepness factor. It's like, okay, what are these guys doing? Why do we just hear somebody scream? Is the police officer dead? I thought he was dead already. So again, it begs a lot of question and kind of just engages the player more compared to the OG. But let's compare the OG now.
Excuse me, sir?
So it is worth noting as well that prior to this scene, again, just like the other scene, as Leon kind of went into the house, I'm pretty sure he stated the same thing along the lines. I don't remember the specific words, the specific line, but he does say, you know, is anybody in here, kind of a thing. So of course, I'm just paraphrasing because, again, I don't remember the exact line for both the remake and the OG. But, you know, it is worth noting that he did state that before entering the house, so it doesn't make this look that crazy. But again, what I think is funny is that, again, the remake we just saw, he did try to speak to him in English, but what was nice about the remake is that he does try to speak to him in Spanish, which was nice. Even though Leon, of course, is not fluent in Spanish, I really like that touch in the remake.
I was wondering if you might recognize a girl in this photograph.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? ¡Lárgate, cabrón!
And what makes this scene even more crazy is that, again, what we could basically translate here is ¿Qué carajos estás haciendo aquí? Lárgate, cabrón. So what's funny here is that what the guy's saying is that, you know, what the hell are you doing here? You know, get the F out of here. When he also calls him a cabrón, which could be translated to a swear word, which I will not repeat here. And so just like I stated with the remake, what I liked about the remake's version of this is that they didn't make Leon look like the awkward guy here. You know, if anything, in the remake, they made the Ganado seem awkward, but in the OG one, if anything, Leon looks like he's being the awkward guy right now. It's just showing up to somebody's house and asking them a question. And it's like, the guy, if anything, the Ganado here has every right to be like, what the frick are you doing here? Like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? So in that sense, that's something that I honestly, I have to give bonus points to the remake for that. Because again, the remake really made it so that Leon tried his hardest to communicate. Even though he's not great with Spanish, he's not fluent in Spanish, he tried his best to get to ask the villager questions. Well, in this one, he just shows up, only talks in English, and again, this guy has every right to be like, yeah, what are you doing here? Get out of here. And the fact that Leon doesn't listen to him is again not great.
Sorry to have bothered you.
Yeah. Now, I also heard some people comment that Leon here, yeah, he did understand him. I don't know if he did understand him. I think he's just judging by his tone of voice because, again, there's nothing in the OG game that kind of tells us that Leon does, in fact, speak Spanish. So, yeah. So, again, I think just Leon's just judging by his tone of voice and the way he said it, that he's like, oh, you know what? Okay, I got to get out of here kind of thing. All right. And also, if somebody's swearing at you that much to get out of their house, I think you would hurry up a little. You know, you wouldn't be just nonchalant, kind of just putting your stuff away all slowly. So again, this scene, if anything, it just kind of makes Leon look bad. So
Freeze! I said freeze!
So again, also the fact that again he has not spoken a drop of Spanish, even broken Spanish, you know, saying stop, stop right there, don't move, But of course he's pointing a gun, and that is acting a creep factor there, because again you don't have to speak a language. If somebody's pointing a gun at you, hey, that's not good. And the fact that the guy keeps moving forward is adding to the creepiness factor. So for that, both of the scenes included that creepiness factor, especially with the remake, how we just covered that, and at the end we hear the police officer screaming, or how I think for this one, I think probably the remake wins, mostly because the creepiness was a lot more apparent, because again, the one that was acting weird wasn't Leon, it was the Ganado, while this one, it was Leon. So I think for this one, the remake definitely takes the win here. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to click this video to see my previous versus video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.